At least the mic's already working. This does mean I have to. This does mean I have to wear headphones, which is not great, but whatever, it's fine. It'll be okay. And turn that off. Hey, Sophia, how's it going? I didn't realize your YouTube name changed. Okay. So I am behind on editing this. Everyone kept wanting to see what I go through to edit it. As you can see, there are a ton of cuts and stuff. One moment, let me... See, that's the thing, though. Like, that's one of those changes where I wouldn't catch, because a lot of the time when people Streamlabs me, it pops up with their name, and I don't commit it to memory on purpose, so it would totally blank in my mind that you changed your YouTube name to that name. Yeah, this editing takes a while, but you're all gonna regret being curious to see it happen, because you're gonna see how incredibly a mess it is on the editing side, like how unlikable it is, which is why you're not gonna hear music, because I don't get to hear music, and I can't play music with you for you without me hearing music. By the way, here's some art retweeted by Nameless. Oops, mix these up. Whoop. Okay, that's good. And I'm back. No, this is actually the opposite. Showing your Twitter feed live. Oh, babe, I have nothing to hide. I've never even seen a boob. Okay. With all that dealt with, and people grousing that this isn't on the Gigaboots podcast Patreon, which I never promised behind the scenes things for. Let's get to it. Something got clicked. Okay, there we go. Pop that up. Bring that back up over here. You ready?
Weird would it be if the DLC had to do with that? And there's another insane lore thing. When Xehanort knocks you underwater for the water phase of the fight, Daybreak Town from back cover is the underside of Scala Ad Kylum.
It's upside down. You see the silhouette, it's the exact same, and you can see the gears from the giant clock at the very bottom.
I'm gonna need you to say that again and slower. Okay, in Daybreak Town, remember back cover the big tower that all the conversations happen in?
Oh my
It's like a
God.
clock tower.
Yeah.
It's upside down on the underside
I'm dying.
of Scala Ad Kylum.
I'm fucking dying. I did not notice that. I'm going to put it in the Discord for you as a visual aid.
Oh my god! I didn't notice it. I was using the Ultima Keyblade. He was melting. Holy shit!
And this is my life for hours straight.
It's
There it is.
incredible.
Yeah, it's in the general there. It's perfect.
This is how every podcast is made. Hours of this.
Perfect.
Oh my fucking god.
Wow. Yeah, no, I would not have noticed that. Oh my god.
So I want to talk about one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Before we go into what I assume real quick breakdowns of all the bosses and the resolutions. Real quick breakdowns of all the bosses and the resolutions of all those arcs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I sat.
This looks miserable. I'm not gonna say it's fun. The shorter podcasts, it's fine.
Yeah.
I sat there.
But just part 2 of the Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers cast is 2 hours. Yeah, so I still have an hour and 45 minutes of this left, and we're recording what is technically more content later tonight. At least one of them's... The editing doesn't need to be done until next Tuesday. We're recording, unless something goes horribly wrong again, we're recording the Cursed Content Club for Suburban Nights later tonight when Bob gets out of work. Luckily, on the Cursed Commentary, I don't do jack shit for editing. Oh, okay. Well, hey, at least you beat it. You know, the funny thing is, I was pointing out to people that by having the video up at all early helps us in search results, but we don't need the whole thing out early. We just need the algorithm to show us grace.
Yeah.
I sat there stunned that I was playing a AAA game where the protagonists were allowed to cry so much.
Yeah.
I just sat there like, because when Axel and Shion and Roxas huddle and like cry of joy, I'm like, a Western game would never let this happen.
They would have cut the scene before she had a chance to cry like that.
They all cried.
Yeah, but she like opens up. Yeah, but she like opens up that scene where they're like, oh man.
And then the Birth by Sleep crew does it.
I wonder how long I can go streaming without having to make some major editing, because all this is minor
to the
stuff.
point where they actually made Tara's eyes get red.
Yes, no, that was actually really impressive. Did you notice that, Bob?
I did not notice
when
that.
Tara's crying, his eyes are, he's legitimately tears rolling down his face. His eyes are redder.
So it's just so surreal.
Sometimes I hear a sound on feels layer and I need to, or I see it, and I need to check what it is, whether it's something that contributes or just garbage, because he hits a lot of keyboards. And that's just mouth clearing, so that's getting deleted. Sometimes it's a false start, like he'll say a word.
Eyes are redder.
So it's just so surreal for me to see this in a AAA game that costs millions upon millions of dollars. Meanwhile, in like
Sorry,
any
our
Western game,
doesn't
it's like
feature
some
more of
gritty
it.
hard-ass dude being like, I'm sad I killed all those people. Completely stone-faced.
I don't know about that. I feel like I don't know how many Western games are even.
If there was an easy way to do it, I would have already done it, honestly.
I don't know how many Western games.
What was it? I've made mild cuts of things. Here, I can go play those real quick. Let's see. Maybe I should put up a now loading screen so that way you guys don't see the whole structure of my fucking computer. That's good enough. That'll work. That'll do. Now you can't see my fucking computer. Oh no, I only have one. It's terrible. It's the worst. I have a very miserable desk too, but I don't want to complain about it because the only way to solve that problem. Yeah. You never know when you're gonna need to scare off a viewer. But this desk has so much shit on it, and there's no space, and the desk is actually not the right height, so I can't even roll up into it correctly, so I have to do all of the work on the PC in a very uncomfortable position. Let's see. So this right here is how it sounds when I don't edit it at all.
I don't care about EA. I don't care about the bad games they make because I don't buy them.
Mm-hmm.
But at least when Activision does scummy shit, they generally make money doing it.
Yes.
They're good at
like
being
Activision mixes asbestos in with baby food because it's cheaper than nutrition.
Okay, that was not the right clip. There was a different clip that was there originally where it's just like people yelling over each other nonstop. I don't know where I threw that. But yeah, it can get real garbagey. I'd never want to release these unedited. I would rather hire someone to edit them than do that. And we're back. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back, guys. How's it going? Metal Gear. Yeah, that export was just for me to let them know that I edit and fast forward.
Ads?
The sads.
Yeah.
All I'm saying
the hurt.
I don't know how it handles the hurt.
The troubles.
Just saying. There's a reason a lot more women like Kingdom Hearts than any Western game franchise.
I don't know. A lot of them got the hots for that Assassin's Creed guy. Assassin's Creed guy. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, but only 11% of Assassin's Creed players are women.
He's pulling that statistic out of his ass, Bob. Check him on
Nope.
it. What?
I can go get it.
Bob, do they
That's
all
crazy.
live? Do they all live in the Florida Panhandle with us? It's possible.
Oh my god.
Okay, well.
Hi, Danny. How's it going? This is
So I guess we're gonna be moving in. I guess
What I
order
go
would make
through.
sense from the from right after you get out of the final world and you start the Keyblade Graveyard properly with the amazing title card.
Yes.
Amazing title card.
Yes. No, they.
Yeah, and
No,
we
no,
already
no,
talked about
Which they don't show you that title card the first time you go.
okay. So this is the part that definitely needs editing.
Yes. No, they.
Yeah, and
No
we
more
already
owned
talked about
Which they don't show you that title card the first time you go.
that's
Because
incredible.
that's
Yeah.
the non-canon scenario.
Yep. There we go. Now it's workable. That was one of the easiest edits ever. Usually, one of the other two people talking simultaneously will decide the direction of the rest of the conversation. And I have to shuffle it a bit to...
Yes. No, they.
Which they don't show you that title card the first time you go.
That's
because
incredible,
that's
yeah.
the non-canon scenario.
Yep. Did you notice that,
And you
Bob?
don't notice
I didn't
it
add that
until,
up. Yeah.
until you get it.
It's
next
so
time.
fucking
I would
Kino,
just, I would
God
just.
damn it.
We already discussed Lingering Will and the Union Cross shit.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
just the euphoria building in me when Lingering Will parries Terranort.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's funny. Because I'm so used to editing like this, though, it sounds weird when I hear the normal podcast. It almost sounds like a different thing. But really, I just sit here and go, man, we take a lot of time to say stuff. Like, we talk very slow. So what I'm saying is I
Terranort,
should get
yeah.
into
Then
doing
he
some
does the
coke or
whip.
something. I should get into doing crack or something before these, so that way I talk as fast as I do here.
Terranort.
Yeah.
Then he does the whip,
Yep.
and
Which
then
is one
he
of-
does the
so
and then
good.
he does the cannon.
By the way, my watch just went off and said someone became a $25 patron just now. I don't know of which
Yep.
Patreon,
And then
but
he-
I don't know why it wouldn't be the Gigaboots
Yep.
one.
And
Which
then
is
he
one of-
does the
so
and then
good.
he does the cannon, and those are both moves the Lingering Will.
Okay,
So
And then
good.
he does the cannon.
so Feel starts to say a thing there, but this is a garbage. Yes, Xehanort does the nay after after he does the whip. I mean, there's so many of him, you could outsource it, you know? Can't you judge by meth from some retiree? Probably. That would require talking to old people and
Which is one of so good.
And then he does
one of so good.
And then-
one of so.
other times you have to slow it back down to
Yep.
normal.
Which is one of so
And
good.
then he does the
You know what? That's just a weird sentence fragment, so I'm gonna delete that.
so
and
good.
then he
so
and then
good.
he does
We'll just leave it like that. And then throw him in, right? Because the neat thing is, when you're editing podcasts, people can figure out what someone is saying before they're done making sound easily. So you can overlay people
whip,
talking
Yep.
a lot.
so good.
and then he does the
like
cannon.
that. And that's not incomprehensible in the least. Like, everyone would be able to pick up on exactly what both parties said.
Both moves the Lingering Will boss does to you.
Mm-hmm.
The cannon brings you to 1 HP no matter if it hits you. The cannon brings you to 1 HP no matter. No matter what, if it hits you.
It's so fucking...
And that's with abilities. It's just like a one-shot blast.
It's
And that's with abilities. It's just like a one-shot blast.
It's so good. It's
So
unreal.
Actually, this one's more raw because that one's a ball in that game. This is
Uh-huh.
just a
This
straight
is just
beam.
a fucking beam. Yeah, we actually just talked about that. That is maybe 6 minutes ago in this podcast.
So good. It's unreal.
Actually, this one's
Pretty
more raw
fucking
because that
good.
one's a ball in that game. This is
Uh-huh.
just a
This
straight
is just
beam.
a fucking beam.
He
So,
just eats so much shit.
let's talk about the
So this, move him saying "soa" over here, so that way the transitional sound is a bit more, and what he's saying makes it sound more natural.
Eat so much shit.
So, let's talk about, the evil Riku and Zigbar one first.
All right, let's.
Hey T-Money, how's it going?
The evil Riku and Zigbar one first.
All right, let's start. A good place to start.
But yeah, I've said multiple times while making this.
All right, let's start.
I'm
A good
never
place to
gonna
start is
release
right
this
after that happens.
podcast
You do a
without
demon type
editing
boss
it.
fight. You do the Union Cross stuff. A good way to cap off. A good way to.
I've sort of come around on that where I'm like, yeah, I'd release it for like the highest tier possible. Because man, it's rough. But KZ and others are now like, maybe not.
Who shows up? He does
Maybe
like
never.
some super hype enemy summoning
Which
sequence.
I understand.
And then when everything's most dire, out from the heavens, Master Yen Sid appears and parts the Black Sea.
Twice. Boy, Yin Sid sure is motivated when he's dark things.
He really
Nothing
is.
That might
suspicious
have been
about
the
that.
most shocking thing in the entire game.
Yin Sid
Yeah.
starts off the Unite the Light group.
God.
I actually did get hyped though, because like he's doing something.
He's
standing
was-
up.
That's what shows you this was like the finale of something where
He is. He gets caught up on that a lot of the time. It's basically all he ever talks about. It's like my input lag.
it was.
Okay, so that's useless.
He's standing up.
That's what shows you this was like the finale of something where he came out to do things.
This is after when I deleted
No, it infuriates me that certain individuals, not going to name names, will shit on the bouncer without having properly experienced it. I should listen to the spoiler cast before or after KZ finishes posting his Let's Play. I haven't been able to keep up with his Let's Play or how many parts are left. What's he on now?
Do something.
Give the way you record our live podcast at all feasible, some sort of Nintendo Direct or other conference live big think reaction would be great. It would be neat, but it would be sloppy like the unedited podcast, but at least we would have the excuse of being live. That's why I keep pushing for E3 to be an in-person affair, because Discord adds a lot of latency in when people hear other people. And so like people are more likely to interrupt each other or talk over each other, or sometimes Discord eats stuff, like people don't hear it at all. So that's why I thought that would be a fantastic thing. But I keep putting that idea out there. I'm still not sure that the others are sold on it. Also, Nintendo Directs happen really early in the morning, and I still work a normal job, though I wish I didn't. Because the sad thing is, and I'm not complaining. Please, no one ever take any of me talking about this element of stuff as complaining, because we have a huge amount of support from our viewers, and I don't want me discussing this to make it seem like we don't have enough, or I feel like we deserve more, or people aren't doing enough. So I wish I could go all in on always editing. Like, I wish I could stay up for 24 hours straight and just work on stuff. And so, like, a Nintendo Direct wouldn't be very feasible. It wouldn't be very feasible because it would completely fuck up my sleep schedule for my normal job, which sounds hilarious coming from me, but I still think they would probably do it at an hour that would fuck me up even more, because the last couple times it's been like 8 and 9 in the morning is when they would start, and I try to be asleep by 8. I try. I'm not always successful. A lot of the time I go, hey, I need to stay up to get this done. For example, I'm going to go ahead and play this month's patron bumper. Let me see. We go to I don't mind you guys looking at the name of my drives. That's not a problem. Bumpers, actual current bumper, and then we play this month's Patreon. Oh no, what is happening? That's not great. Let's not use VLC. Let's use a better program. Let's see if media player.
Okay, Bob.
What's up?
We're doing it.
What am I supposed to say at the beginning of this? Like
You're supposed to say that this is the Gigaboots executive producers. That you're supposed to thank them.
This month's Gigaboots executive producers for February 2019 are Vincent Poverk, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Brendan O'Sullivan, Star Falcon,
Even if you say it right now, it's that one.
Spaceman Spiff, Prince Van Space, Danny Richardson, Dryzart, Wardonis, Shadow in the Darkness, and Shadow in the Darkness. Thanks to our executive producers, and also these guys. Oh man, where'd they go? They're so quick. You think they'll be back?
No. Tell them they can go to patreon.com/gigaboots today.
Go to gigaboost.com and become a patron. Yeah, you can go to Gigaboots. You can go to patreon.com and become a patron of Gigaboots.
We're letting you do that. You're welcome.
It was great. It would be great. Thank you for doing it. I'm sure you've already done it.
Oh yeah, no. These guys was so fast. Oh my god. Yeah, no, that was great. I'm really glad we found a way to build more than one layer on last month, because it's always a bummer. Like, I always try to do something new with each month's bumper, because it's one of the few ways I can think of to help pay back people for being so supportive. You know, like, if I'm going to put something at the end of every video and people paid money for the name to be there, I would like for it to be special. Which is why our $5 tier has never advertised being in the credits, because that means morally I can feel good doing whatever dumb joke I want with that. In fact, I just decided one day that that would be fucking hilarious. Kino even. Okay, so I think this is, yeah, that one's weirdly enough the AVI that's no good. I should take these out of here and put them in the archive. And there you go. And now we can just fill it with the new one. We changed our workflow. We no longer can append AVI videos at the end of our videos because it renders out in MP4, which has made it possible for us to do basically real-time rendering of 4K 60 content, which is how the Devil May Cry 3 Let's Play got out when it did, which is great. But it does render into MP4. So now I gotta make sure I have these done in advance until the creator of the Vegas plugin we use eventually adds AVI as container format for rendering out. I'm just gonna click over here. Okay. No one's complaining at me on Twitter. Someone said something. Oh, they liked it. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with people liking things. I just don't want them being like, you guys are late and you're not even letting the Gigaboots podcast Patreon
to do something.
This is after when I deleted
Nope.
Twitter. If I hadn't deleted Twitter from my phone, I just would have retweeted the thing the chief yells in Space Patrol Lulico when he stands up and turns into the gun.
Yep.
Yes.
and then a giant awkward silence. And retconned.
Yep.
Yes.
Which
Yeah,
I think is
that was
maximum
amazing.
over justice. Which
Yeah,
I think is
that was
maximum
amazing.
over
Move it over like this. But yeah, I have like 5 tracks all appended together. That's why it's sluggish when it comes to dragging these around.
But yeah, that was amazing.
Which I think.
But yeah, that was
Which I
amazing.
think is maximum over justice.
But yeah, that was amazing.
Which I think is maximum over justice. Justice is over.
It's man. Ah, man. More
They had a
people should
unique
watch that
approach
series.
with this final section,
Mm-hmm.
where instead of having a bunch of solo fights, because that would have ruined this game's pacing very badly.
Justice is over.
It's man. Ah, man.
Man. Okay. By the way, that bumper is the most exciting this editing
is
stream's
over.
gonna
It's
get.
man. Ah, man. More people should watch that series.
They had a unique approach with this final section, where instead of having a bunch of solo fights, because that would have ruined this game's pacing very badly, they decided to simulate a real war by having multiple like group fights. The
And-
first of which I guess would be Dark Riku and Zigbar.
I guess you're right. Yeah, they do sound like Craig.
They decided to simulate a real war by having multiple like group fights. The
And-
first of which I guess would be Dark Riku and Zigbar.
I like that you get to choose. Really, you
It
get to
is-
choose what you go
It
for.
really worried me that that was going to affect things. Like I kept being like,
They decided to simulate a real war by having multiple like group fights. The first of which I guess would be Dark Riku and Zigbar.
I like that you get to choose. Really, you
It
get to
is-
choose what you go
it
for.
really worried me that that was going to affect things. Like I kept being like, okay,
I was
is this,
petrified
did I get
after
multiple
the
saves?
end of the first fight.
I wasn't petrified.
Yeah, I was petrified after the end of the first fight.
Do. Right now, I just kind of want to play some Game Boy games. But I'm not gonna have time for that.
Did you get multiple saves?
Yeah, I was petrified after the end of the first fight.
I wasn't petrified because I was like, well, I'll obviously go with Riku instead of Mickey Mouse.
I had a billion.
Well, I'll obviously go with Riku instead of Mickey Mouse.
I had a billion save slots, so I made a save slot and I leaned into it, and I'm like, Nomura, protect me, don't hurt me.
And he did.
I was thinking he might not, but once
I would be a lot faster at this if it were more responsive. There's a lot of latency when I click and drag shit because I'm moving.
encounter, I was
so
like, okay,
many
we're good.
audio layers.
So a thing with these fights is that it was incredible how they just had.
And as much as I would like to cut it down, I'll show you what our system is. This bottom one is everything. It's them coming through our speakers. You can see there's Feel talking, and then here's Feel talking on our sync track. Then there's me talking, and then there's Bob talking, I think. No, I have that backwards. Bob and then me, and those are combined in our sync track. And then these are the individual files from Feel and then KZ. And then this is a stereo mix that our new audio recorder makes for us, so I don't have to worry about it. But earlier in this, and this is why you see this track here that has mostly nothing on it. Earlier in this, I had to move my mic stand, so I had to bust out Bob's dedicated audio track because I put garbage audio through mine. So that's why all of this is saved. Because if I don't save all of this and keep it all synced up all the time, it would be a fucking nightmare. Because we've had drift in the past. We've had someone's, I can't remember who, it was one of the two online people, obviously. But we've had their audio drift before. One moment, I'm getting comfortable in this chair. We're trying. Putting this mic over here isn't exactly convenient. I should get little boom heads that go on mic stands. That would be nice. 1 second. Got a comment saying something about a stream recording. The stream recording is not available. Is that true? Is the N64 stream? Have you done this as a contractor before? No. No, the only contract work I've ever fucking done was for it was for Retroware TV. Oh right, I can't mess with Gigaboot stuff on YouTube right now because I'm signed in as Project SPF for the stream. That's unfortunate, but we got 7 people watching. But yeah, Retroware TV, I was a video editor on a series called The Video Game Years. And No, this comment's talking about the N60. I wondered why it was giving me an SVF link. Yeah, because what they could do is if we did it on the Gigaboots one, which I change what account I do this on all the time. I have like 7 YouTube accounts. Anyways. Oh, yeah, what happened was I hit... Oh, man, is it really doing that? Anyway, I hit stream, and it came out on the... Is that a file, though? Is that a video, though? Okay, 1 second, you guys. 1 second. I'm going to use my phone to fix this. Because I can delete videos from my phone. So if it shows up as a discrete video... Yeah, okay, I'm seeing it. Let me confirm I can find the other one, the real one. Yep, okay. Got it. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for letting me know. Let me just delete this fucking micro stream. Deleted. But yeah, I accidentally clicked the stream button before I changed the stream key to be this account. What am I doing? Bringing this up. I'm closing that. I have no idea why I did that. Maybe I told Patreon that we were an adult Patreon page. I don't know. The funny thing is KZ actually technically could be here because he's a $5 patron, but Mr. Feel couldn't. Yeah. That's what that is. Tails is best boy. I hate how much that dude is mischaracterized. Okay, I'm gonna... That was me telling them that it's funny in the original audio. In the original audio, an hour and 47 minutes. I am not... Oh my god. No, Tails is great. The great thing about Tails is Tails isn't trying to fucking impress you. Tails is innocent and smart and earnest. And he thinks Sonic is neat, but he doesn't try to emulate Sonic. So I hate every version of Tails that gets that wrong. Because I liked Tails more than Sonic. I think he's way cooler. Anyway, an hour and 47 minutes before the end of this recording, I say something along the lines of, fuck off, Spiff. That's not canon. Yeah, he's not trying to impress you with that. That's just a thing he does. That's a convenient way to get around. But yeah, just that drawing was done by the original character designer of Tails, somewhat recently, and it made me really happy with how on model it looked. Because I really don't like most of his redesigns. Drinks monster. You know what? Maybe a water would be a good idea. Seeing as how I'm out of monster now. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a water. Be right back, everybody. I mean, Derpy Tales from the comedic Sonic cartoon was funny. I wouldn't say I liked him. I was more okay with him than a lot of the Tales. Don't worry about the game. The game might as well not exist. It's such a failed execution. That game needed more time in development, clearly. You know, I think about how that was made on CryEngine and couldn't run it well at all. And how, I don't know, I'm glad that consoles are getting powerful enough where Unreal Engine 4 can run on them more easily, and next gen's going to be even better about that. And so people can make their games like a Sonic Boom that needs an engine made by another company. They can make that on Unreal Engine 4, which is at all a good engine, unlike CryEngine, which is fucking garbage and not suitable for the fucking Wii U in the least. Then again, I guess that would just be Switch nowadays, huh? Oh well. Which Unreal Engine 4 technically runs on, but is also unsuitable for. Curious on people's opinions. Have any of you watched the latest? Yeah, I did like that. I don't like that game.
Western game would.
Have any of you checked out the most recent Devil May Cry Let's Play, and how do you feel about the audio quality?
I think any Western game would ever do.
It's actually something that bugged me. It was like, this is really awkward. I'm glad that they have a cutscene each, but I'm not glad that it interrupts the other dude flying at you to kill you to have a dramatic moment. Like, it probably would have worked better for pacing and not breaking the suspension
I feel like
of
it was
disbelief.
like the best resolution they could
It's
do.
it's the best thing. Also, I forgive it because every single.
Pacing and not breaking.
I figured most people haven't had enough time to watch it yet. Oh, funny thing, Spaceman. The original version I posted unlisted to the Discord had one problem with it that I fixed in the actual final thing. I sort patron names in the bumper by how much they've paid us over time. I sort patrons in the bumper by how much they've paid us total, and I accidentally mixed up Brendan O'Sullivan and the next person in it. So
I mean, they are really good. They all deliver. Not a single one of them is just like, fuck off.
Huge
You're
fan of I'm Evil Riku from Kingdom Hearts 1. Psych, I'm actually a replica of Evil Riku from Kingdom Hearts 1 who just thinks he's actually Evil Riku. And then they bring back the actual Riku replica. And then they bring back the...
Wait a second. So that's a mistake I have to keep myself from doing. And I just did it because, of course, the stream has me a little distracted. But it's me unbonding the rest of the fucking track.
Evil Riku. And then they bring back the actual...
just to move something, so then they get out of sync, and that's happened before too. See, that's the weird thing. We should have a higher signal to noise ratio, but we also added more echo a little bit. So it sounds better than the prior part of the Devil May Cry Let's Play, but it still doesn't sound ideal. And I don't know if buying a third mic will fix that, because this audio recorder does take in 3 XLRs simultaneously, which is helpful. But I don't want to spend that sort of money and then it end up not sounding fucking gold, you know? Like that's... that... I take spending the patron money very, very seriously. So I don't want to buy a third mic and then it doesn't sound any better than that. If we each had our own more isolated area, then it would work fine, but yeah.
A replica body is pretty cool.
Since you didn't go through Chain of Memories, like, that plot just had that replica thinking he was the real Riku.
Oh,
and
I know.
And kind of making peace with that, but his ending was just really dark.
Mm-hmm.
And then they
So-
actually gave him a good resolution in this.
Quick plot thing.
Kind of surprised they didn't do
The
a
guy
throwback
that- the guy
to
that,
I'm you. What are you talking about? I am me.
The guy Vexen talks about...
Didn't do
The
a
guy
throwback
that... The
to
guy that...
Yeah, it's complicated. But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, for example, this is how it should sound, but since I can't put that mic in front of me, it's now just sitting Yeah, no, this whole editing session will be in chipmunk mode. The video, of course, will not. But yeah, I can't fit this mic conveniently in front of me, and the more important thing is getting content edited here.
In this.
Kind of surprised they didn't do a throwback to I'm You. What are you talking about? I am me.
Quick plot thing. The guy that
The amount of times where somebody's stalling in what they're saying, $100 here gets the chipmunk edition. That'd be funny. A lot of the time when you're listening to these podcasts and somebody does a little bit of stalling or repeating themselves, it actually has more to do with someone else is talking at that exact moment. So Feel here is doing it as an example of this.
About I am me.
quick plot thing. The guy Vexen talks about that wants to atone but can't because he's one of 13 darknesses, is that Sykes?
I assume.
I assume that has to be who that is.
I thought that was Ansem the Wild.
And you separate this off, and then you do that. Give it a little bit more breath. We can even move Feel over here.
Sykes?
I assume.
I assume that has to be who that is.
I thought that was Ansem the Wise.
Well, no, Vexen was talking to Ansem the Wise.
Oh, right. I have this friend.
Oh,
He's
so
you. Right. I have this friend.
Oh,
He's
so
you.
it has to be someone.
Also, plosives, we put better mic pads on since this recording.
It has to be. It has to be someone.
So
It has to be someone.
Yeah, the conclusion stuff in Kingdom Hearts 3 is pretty good.
It has to be someone else. I was thinking it was either Sykes or Luxord.
Yeah, I assume
Here's the
Sykes.
really insane possibility that it's Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, because he also was.
I assume it's Sykes.
Here's the really.
I assume it's Sykes.
Here's the really insane possibility that it's Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, because he also was interested in Stargirl.
I just realized how that makes no fucking sense if you haven't played the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Stargirl.
Yeah.
Which I really thought that she was gonna be. I thought that she was gonna be the Kyrie of the Xehanort and Ericus era.
Oh my god.
I really went into that thinking that Sora was gonna like bring her up to Xehanort during the final boss, and he'd drop his guard. But then it turned out to be a plot thread for the future arc.
Yep.
It was interesting how concerned he was about that character.
Which
During
was
around
like,
the
is he
midpoint of the
doing it because Sayek wants to?
Let's see. Sometimes it's really hard to get the exact timing down of a phrase, like what would sound natural. Like after this many months of editing these podcasts, I have a pretty good idea of what spaces sound natural.
It was interesting how concerned he was about that character during around the midpoint of the game.
Which was like, is he doing it? Is he doing it because Sayek wants to know? Is he like, and they don't explain it, and Ansem has a really weird thing when you beat him. The weird thing when you beat him.
Anytime you can hear KZ reacting about how fanatical Feel sounds in any given moment, just you should all record to a click track. What is that? I have no idea what that is.
Beat him.
Yeah.
Like, he has way more of a positive towards the heroes one than Xemnas does.
Anytime you hear KZ react like that, just assume there was twice as much fanatical beginning to a statement.
Xemnas does.
I think he's jobbed so much that, you know, he kind of mellowed out.
Right, he's just tired of it. He's like, I know I can't even do this.
And then even Riku is like, I'm gonna miss you, weirdly.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, Riku was turned into him, so of course.
I saw the dumbest thing I've seen recently that I really wanted to buy was on Technology Connections. No, it was on Techmoan. Techmoan, weird name for a channel, really good channel. Anyway, they showed off a jukebox, or a boombox that only played midis that was powered by floppy drives. Like its source of for media was floppies, and it can play midis, and that killed me. And I really want one because it would be amazing to carry around a fucking stereo
Damn, so of
that
course.
just plays.
So I'm
midis.
excited to see if that goes anywhere because I think it might. But we got off. But we got off track. Might. But we got off track a little bit. Zigbar's death was really cool because you know he's not dead because he just falls into a pit and that means not dead.
I thought actually that was like a really cool way of like
He was too
like,
proud
hey,
to die in front of
kill
Sora.
the kingdom.
You know he's not dead because he just falls into a pit and that means not dead.
I thought actually that was like a really cool way of like
He was too
like,
proud
hey,
to die in front of
kill
Sora.
the Kingdom Hearts character without dissolving them into mist after being hit with swords or energy.
I knew when he fell. I knew when he fell into a.
And that's deletable. And cut here. Do this. I wonder. You might be able to fit it in there. I don't know.
I knew when he.
But yeah, it's actually.
I knew when he fell into a
Roland
convenient
powered.
chasm that he was not dead.
Yeah, I was hedging my bets
I was
on
hoping
either
wasn't,
he was
'cause he's
doing
my-
that out of
he's my
pride
favorite
or...
of those.
I really thought it was.
And now you see truly why I have to edit these.
Chasm that he was not dead. Chasm that he was not dead.
Yeah, I was hedging my bets on either he was doing that out of pride or...
I was hoping he wasn't because he's my favorite of those.
I really thought it was interesting, like, oh, he's working with Xehanort so he can have the Keyblade. And then the secret movie happened and I screamed. Or not the secret movie, the epilogue.
Yeah.
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 But look
That was the greatest result. Yeah, that was the greatest result.
I used to not edit these in fast forward, and I'm really glad I do now because it saves
This is the greatest
30%
result.
of time.
I'm still
Even in the
mad that-
predictions, I said he would job because that's the opposite of what my true want for him would be.
I'm
Because
still
even in the
mad that
predictions, I said he would job because that's the opposite of what my true want for him would be. Was
I still-
want him,
I might.
I said he would job because that's the opposite of what my true want for him would
I might. It would honestly be a ludicrous tier. Like, it would be executive producer because I'm not. Something that is that uncomfortable to put out there in the world should not be something I give away easily.
be. Was
I
I
still-
want him to be important forever.
I still can't believe that I predicted like half a dozen different characters being that character in Zigbar. Believe that I predicted like half a dozen different characters being that character, but
By the way, I worried about this when Xeon came over and watched me edit. I don't want everyone to think that anytime you hear a jarring change of tone or someone talking over someone else lining up perfectly, that it's me editing it. A lot of the time that happens naturally. Yeah, and I don't want you to think this is all just, Dan did a really tough edit here, or Dan really nailed the edit on the timing of them talking. It's not always that. It's usually natural. Like, I know I've changed tones sometimes in some podcasts where even I thought, and I'm the one who fucking edited it, that, oh man, that was a rough edit, and then I checked it out, and no, that's just what I did with my voice, or someone else did with their voice. It's just how it is. Sometimes it'd be like that.
Zigbar.
But about those
Dude, awesome. That would be fucking incredible.
Zigbar.
I feel like if I ever owned a vehicle that I at all liked and was good, I think I would legitimately want to do a mod like that.
Bar.
But about those bosses,
All I would want is a stereo jack in, so that way I could hook up, like, you know, my phone for podcasts or something. But mostly I would just want to listen to midis because that's fucking hilarious.
Zigbar.
but about those bosses, all faithful recreations of their boss fights, like Riku, Vanitas, even Terra Xehanort. Like they redid those movesets perfectly within the context of this game.
Yeah.
The Luxord, Marluxia, Larxene fight didn't really have... I mean, their cutscenes were all good.
The cutscenes were fucking incredible. They were so goddamn fucking good. It's some of the best shit in that game. There's just something really good about people who hate Sora who Sora doesn't even remember meeting.
Their cutscenes were all good.
Yeah.
Although I did kind of like, think it was funny that they kind of gave Larxene a case of the not gays. Gave Larxene a case of the not gays, inexplicably. Where they kind of imply that she's into Marluxia, which everybody just assumes she's into chicks, and then it's like, no, she has a case of the not gays. Look,
Oh my
case
god.
of the not gays, which I... No, she has a case of the not gays. Look,
Oh my
case
god.
of the not gays, which I can talk about more in the ending, which has like a severe case of the not gays.
Good, you noticed that too, but we'll get there.
Where it's like,
See, I actually didn't pick up on it with Larxene and Marluxia, but I totally picked up on it in the ending, and it killed me.
Moving along.
So when the game, I knew one thing about this game. When
Every time he makes a sound like that, I assume Phil just, like, something slipped and he literally head desk.
where it's like,
Moving along.
so when the game, I knew one thing about this game when it leaked
Mhm.
that had me concerned. Where someone said who had the game early that the game was bad, and they kept calling it something, and I didn't get it. They called it Kingdom Hearts 3 because hetero.
oh yeah, I can totally
because
see
of all
that.
the Sora Kyrie stuff. That
Yeah.
a lot of leakers thought the game was bad because hetero.
Oh yeah, I can totally
because
see
of all
that.
the Sora Kyrie stuff. That's why
Yeah.
a lot of leakers thought the game was bad. Because one, what happens to Sora, and two, it's
Not
it
okay,
makes- it
KZ.
implies-
Not
it
just
implies
that.
Okay. Let's see what we can do.
and two, it implies that.
Not okay,
relationship.
KZ. Not just that. There's fucking Riku landing in Radiant Garden and all.
God, fucking. Kingdom Hearts 2, it's right. Yeah, no, have you played it, Chibijaru?
Amane.
Yeah, that was ludicrous. That was
Like,
fucking...
I have-
God, that. I mean, I think it was KZ who said, actually, maybe it was Feel. I think it was Feel. He was like, if Kingdom Hearts 3 tries to pretend that this whole series was straight, that will be the biggest backpedal in gaming history. And yeah, it was. It was intense. But yeah, the only contract work I've ever done editing wise is for Retroware. And it was the first episode. Wow, really?
Amane.
Yeah, that was ludicrous.
Yep.
That was
Like,
fucking ludicrous.
I am stunned. I am stunned after they brought back the giant gay power sword from Birth by not Birth by the Dream Drop Distance. That they went that hard on the not gays. It was incredible.
It was frustrating.
Oh.
It honestly did just annoy me. I'm like, come on, don't. Like, it's
Yeah.
Kyrie and Sora didn't
canonically.
annoy me because Kyrie and Sora didn't annoy me because of course they were gonna do that no matter what.
Come on, don't. Like, it's
Yeah.
Kyrie and
not
Sora didn't
canonically.
annoy me because Kyrie and Sora didn't annoy me because
Yeah.
Kyrie and Sora.
Yeah.
Not canonically.
Let's see. Yeah, this definitely should have been edited by now. But yesterday I took time to do the Devil May Cry 3 Let's Play. And then that also resulted in us having to make the new Patreon bumper. And then I slept a lot today. My body is getting its revenge.
Honestly,
as of
Kyrie and
late.
Sora didn't annoy me
Not
because
a
of course
fan.
they were gonna do that no matter what. But Riku and Namine was
Oh yeah, no, Grandia is great. That was one of my first thoughts was to recommend that, but I've never played it myself, so I felt weird. I felt weird looking at that, seeing Grandia there, and being like, "Yeah, play Grandia," because I've never played it. You know, it's one of those things of I don't feel safe recommending based on other people's stuff, but when I saw that, I was like, "Yeah, I think Bob's gonna recommend."
do that no matter what.
You know.
But Riku and Namine was like,
We actually just bought a fat PS2 from our local retro game store. I'm gonna mod them and make it so we can play games off of SD cards.
It was like, wow.
The parts for that are going to take forever.
It was like, wow.
It was a reach. I was
I was
talking to Dan about.
And now I have no idea who I'm going to have to let
I was
go.
I was
talking to Dan about that.
Necessarily try to imply a relationship, but you know, it made sense for him.
We'll just edit it so he starts talking over him later in the sentence. That way people can begin to know what Bob was going to say.
I was talking to Dan about that.
I didn't even think it would necessarily try to imply a relationship, but you know, it made sense for him to be the one to like bring her.
I know, but but the framing of it really comes off that way.
Oh yeah. To like bring her because of the.
Delete that. Bring this back over here. Yeah, sure. I'd consider it. Honestly, we've done a lot of, like, I feel bad. We've had a Gigaboots Eats filmed for 3 weeks now, and I just need time to put it out. It's becoming more and more frustrating how many things are possible to do with the channel and all these pieces of content I really want to make, and we have the ability to do pre-production and production on, but don't have the time for post. And it's just, it's so frustrating.
Relationship, but you know, it made sense for him to be the one to like bring her.
But the framing of it really comes off that way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, is there any chance that Riku has like the Replicu's memories? Because it wasn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, is there any chance that Riku has like the Replicu's?
Yeah. Yeah, we ate a vegan cheesecake and the Oreo most stuff.
Memories, because it wasn't Replicu's whole thing. He was protecting Naminé.
And I think that video is so old that I wasn't even growing out my beard at that point.
Okay, so maybe.
Yeah. That's the connection I kind of got, and they
have that
for part of this game.
And
Right.
connections are weird in Kingdom Hearts, like
Yeah.
like the Dog Street kids liking Sora because they sort of remember Roxas, or Tron in Dream
Yeah.
Drop Distance remembering Sora even though it isn't the same Tron at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Just how reconnected
But,
those hearts are. Uh-huh.
There is a feature in Vegas that it would be insanely helpful for this, wherein you resize the edge of something, or you delete something and it snaps the next part of it in. It's super helpful, but it kept crashing as I was making gamer premonitions. So, why would Oreo release a game
Just
controller?
how reconnected those hearts are. Uh-huh.
The only other thing from the Luxord, Larxene, Marluxia thing of relevance is, Luxord gives Sora the wild card.
Yeah, with this many
Sora
audio
the wild
tracks,
card, or
it crashes a shitload. Also, I don't want to buy a new version of Vegas to see if it fixes it, because I'm cheap. Like, think about it. The cost of a new version of Vegas is half the cost of us getting a new audio processor, compressor, and one of these mics, which I feel like has drastically helped our audio quality for stuff. When it's 2 people. When it's 3, it's a little bit better, but not great.
And it's never brought up again. Wait for 3 games from now for him to pull out that card.
Yeah.
It would be I feel like that might come up in the very next whatever game that they do the World Ends With You 2 secretly inside.
Do you guys think, as a part of
damn it,
Kingdom Hearts
Sophia.
perhaps being co-owned by Disney, just the title of it, that they may have to change the name to something else and just feature?
Here's literally what I think. How it went. Hey Disney, yeah.
I was thinking today about how Super Mario RPG is the proto Kingdom Hearts. How it was yet again Square coming to another company with a popular mascot and trying to get their popularity. One moment.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
One of these podcasts, KZ was playing Smash during, so you could hear stick clicking, and I had to edit all the stick clicking out. That was fucking hilarious.
Think, as a part of do something else and just feature?
Here's literally what I think. How it went. Hey Disney, yeah. You can't do.
But yeah, Super Mario RPG also has Yoko Shimomura on it. They came to a company who had a popular mascot to help them get RPGs to be more popular, and they would have done more of that, I'm sure, if they didn't have that massive falling out with Nintendo.
Disney, yeah? You can't do anything with the set name without annoying every single person who likes this. So how about you just let us make games titled it and we send you checks occasionally?
The irony is, the irony of the N64 is that by using cartridges, they made it one of the most hackable consoles. Like, flash drives existed for the N64 a long-ass time ago. We're only just now getting around to hacking out the PS1 and Saturn to have more efficient backup playing methods. But also, N64s don't have a reliability problem like the PS1 and Saturns do. They're rock solid. So my GameCube actually is already having disk read problems. We would have done a wave race for the GameCube, giving games a chance. We went to do it months ago, and the GameCube disk drive just couldn't read it right. It couldn't read it well enough. But the Wii could. But the Wii has way worse video quality. Yeah, it sucks.
Okay, we like money without doing anything.
Most corporations do. Most corporations do.
But yeah, I constantly feel really bad that I haven't gotten the I filmed a behind the scenes, like most of a behind the scenes a week or two ago, and I haven't.
Yeah, but that's the.
Haven't gotten it out for people. I feel like we need to do more for our patrons, and I want to do more for our patrons, but it's
Yeah, but that's the first two fights, which I think are the most
just to keep
unimportant
content coming out.
in general.
Yeah, and then you get the birth by sleep fight.
In general?
Yeah.
There was one of these podcasts we recorded where I accidentally, me and Bob, our noise gate threshold was too high, and our headphones were outputting KZ and Feels audio too high. So you could hear them in our headphones on our mic, and it was awful.
Which I think are the most unimportant in general.
Yeah, and then you get the birth by sleep fight.
I feel like Larxine's definitely coming back as a...
the days fight.
Is that Bob? Are we cutting out more Bob?
Larxine's
fight.
I feel like Larxine's definitely coming back as a...
days and the...
Poor Bob. Poor Bob.
Fight.
I feel like Larxine's definitely coming back as a...
Yeah, there's the birth by sleep and then the days.
Okay, so we gotta...
Going back as a...
Yeah, there's the birth by sleep and then the days.
Going back as a...
Yeah, there's the birth by sleep and then the days fight.
I went ape shit. Ape shit when the Guardian ripped off his gag and was Terra.
Yeah, that was fucking good. Yeah, no, that was fucking...
Ever since
that was
2010, I always...
Dan editing. Yeah, that was fucking good. Dan in the video he's editing. Yeah, that was fucking good.
showed up in this Aqua fight. What if that's just supposed to be Terra? And when it was, I was like, this is so good. He repeated the same line from the end of Terra's story in Birth by Sleep of one day I will set this right, which I literally tweeted at people in September of I want him to say this exact line.
And I love the way he got his body back with Sora shooting the unlock beam through Terra Nort into the empty heart section of the Guardian.
Yeah, it was good.
Also him breaking, grabbing the chains was raw.
There. So in the process of the stream, I think I've edited this much. Maybe. Possibly. Let's see how long we've been streaming. An hour. So yeah, that keeps with my 3 times the editing time for the product time.
From the end of Terra's story and Birth by Sleep of one day I will set.
Also him breaking, grabbing the chains was raw.
I feel like the Birth by Sleep
that
encounter...
was the rawest, that was so raw.
It was.
Of Terra Nort going, you can't break these chains, there are bonds.
I think the entire Birth by Sleep encounter...
People hear me and other people say, enough.
I think the entire Birth by Sleep encounter there and the Lucio reveal are the that's the peak of this me.
Bob and I were talking again about the neat idea of if Gigaboots became successful enough to be a full-time job on just the Patreon. Like if it was powerful enough on the Patreon alone, because that's stable money, whereas live stream donations and everything else, as much as those help us solve problems like this audio upgrade we were able to afford this year, which cost $1,000. That was only possible because of the great donations we got in January. But if the Patreon ever got stable enough where we could do it full time, I wanted to do a live stream series kind of like the Kingdom Hearts ones, but for Final Fantasy, called Finishing Fantasies. And so me and Bob would blitz out a Final Fantasy game in under a week by doing like a couple 14-hour live streams or like 3 14-hour live streams. Because I'm really interested in seeing those games through, and I really do like RPGs. I just don't have the time outside of the channel. I mean, and that's the thing, though. Like, that's the level of content I'm interested in. Yeah, Bob and I were floored when you became an executive producer for the podcast Patreon. Thank you for that. We never could have expected that from anybody, but both you and Ely Broyles did it, and I was like, oh my god! Yeah, which is basically how both Bob and myself reacted. But so the thing is, like, the onus is on us to expand the channel in order to get more people in, not try to somehow get the pre-existing fan base to pay more. That's insane. So as much as people may not like the podcast as much as our other content, it has brought thousands of people to our channel regularly. And even though not all the money from the Gigaboost podcast Patreon goes to us, a chunk of it does. And so that's also more support for us. That's more stability. Who knows? Maybe if we don't spend any of the money by June, we can afford E3 tickets off of it. Speaking of which, I wonder how many consistent views you need on a series before you can talk the ESA into giving you fucking E3 tickets. Then again, nowadays they would much rather sell them to you, I'm sure.
Reveal are that's the peak of this game for me.
Casey, it feels Crunchyroll premiums aren't paying for themselves, man. It's $3,500 for the Bleach podcast. Having never watched Bleach, I'm super interested, but also I don't need another fucking thing that's gonna disappoint me. That's funny. That's funny that you ultimately came to them for manga, not even anime. I really liked Crunchyroll and my experience with them doing the Weeaboo stuff, which I wish we went back to because I like watching anime. But much like RPGs, I only have time for that if it's content.
I mean, I know a lot of people who lost their mind.
Get rid of that. Bring this in.
I know a lot of people who lost their minds at the Days one because a lot of people loved it.
The best thing about cursed content is that it's a really light edit. And the cursed commentary is not even edited at all, really. It's just volume
I really
edited.
liked the day stuff, and I really do,
because obviously I can't rearrange shit because it needs to sync up.
I have an attachment to those characters. All of the raw, insane shit that happened with Terranor, like the line you just referenced of, like, you can't break these chains, it's what bonds us. Like, it's...
Yeah, just him
all of that.
using the friendship line, but only it's evil.
Yes, all of that was so good. That was...
And it was delicious. It was just really... It was delicious. It was just really... really good. And then you had the Vanita sequence where he just says, "Fuck you, I'm just evil."
right?
But he kind of doesn't, though, even. His line about being the shadow... And it fits in with what Sora even says later on, that you're always going to have to deal with darkness as a person.
I want Bob to drink. I want Bob to draw what he thinks a movie suit looks like. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, the Kick-Ass-Ya commentary is a really neat thing, and I enjoy that we can do that.
He's like,
Basically, every piece of content we've ever done for Patreon is exactly what I would want out of people, and that's why I'm really bummed out that we aren't doing more like, hey, this is how our workflow works, blah, blah, blah. I tried to do behind the scenes that encapsulated our entire setup. Like, here's how we do unboxing videos. Here's how we do this. Here's how we do that. And before I could finish putting it together and even compiling it all in a timeline, we had changed how we did multiple of those things. So it's one of those things of trying to capture a snapshot of a thing constantly changing. In fact, this whole cool render thing down here wouldn't have been there 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. And that's a massive part of our new workflow.
He's like, but I love Ben sitting there and being like, we should get to choose who we are, whether or not we're light or dark. We shouldn't just get pre-selected. And he's like, I did choose. And that's all
I really expected in the ending. In the ending, I really expected it to be. In the ending, I really expected in the ending. In the ending, I really expected it to be like Vanitas being his shadow instead of.
Good.
In the ending, I really expected it to be like Vanitas being his shadow.
Good.
In the ending, I really expected it to be like Vanitas being his shadow instead of Cherithy.
Yeah, in the future, have we hit fire? Have we hit 500 on the? Nope. Okay. Still safe. Still don't have to announce it. Anyway, in the future with Curse Content Club, we hope to do things that are more what people would be willing to watch while. Oh yeah, no, that's a great way to watch it for the first time. Certainly helped me through the parts I hadn't seen yet. Which part of this needs to be tightened? Oh, that part. Probably. One of these screws goes one way, the other one goes the other. It's great.
Instead of Cherithy. Instead of Cherithy.
Instead of Cherithy. Instead of Cherithy. Instead of Cherithy.
I'm gonna try to make it so that way everything we do a video of is relatively accessible. 2 podlords join next week. I mean, I was like, okay, we're a significant distance from it, and 1 podlord joined it. I was like, fuck, we were much closer.
There's also that wild theory that because a character named Darkness appeared in the mobile game, and Vanitas keeps saying he's Darkness, people are trying to connect that.
Oh
People are insane. It's so obviously otherwise.
Yeah, it's very obvious, but also
So
it's
obvious,
insane.
Bob.
But that Birth by Sleep, all of that was really good.
Unbelievably good.
So let's talk about the Days one now, or rather,
Oh,
the part
the best
where.
Axel cutscene.
So starting with the Kyrie doesn't get to do anything saga, I can't believe it was literally the stereotype of, oh no, I'm a woman grabbed by her lower arm and held above my head. Now I'm paralyzed.
All my Keyblade training did not prepare me for this.
Right?
Well,
like,
apparently
did
Merlin is
nothing.
a shitty teacher because even Axel just gets immediately jobbed the fuck out. Head. Now I'm paralyzed.
All my Keyblade training did not prepare me for this.
Right?
Well,
like,
apparently
did
Merlin is a
nothing.
shitty teacher.
Okay, now we do this. And then we do this. Move that over. Here.
Nothing.
Well, apparently Merlin is a shitty teacher because even Axel just gets.
Yeah, I'm really glad that people went to help her out. She kept fighting me since the Osu. Holy shit, it's like magic. She kept fighting me to not give her the Osu donation that was made to Mega Maker in November. I believe it was November 17th, or so Stan the Man, I believe it was, made the $200 donation, so that way she had to do an Osu stream. She would not let me give that to her, and so when the GoFundMe opened up, I gave that to her because she couldn't. You can't prevent it. So that was pretty great, actually. I was really glad that she. Then I told her what I did. I was like, I gave you the Osu donation, and I covered the YouTube part. Suck a dick. She's just like, God damn it.
Still, Keyblade, he was wielding a joke.
Yep.
He attacked him with a
One thing I
punchline.
thought was cool. Yep.
He attacked him with a punchline.
So one thing I thought was cool.
Yeah, Kyrie is wielding the Keyblade of Ava from back cover in her new hoodie, even cooked her.
I
Please
noticed.
stop.
I really wish there was a guaranteed way to increase the performance of exactly
with a
what I'm doing now. And in Vegas, like, I wish there was a way where it's like, oh, hey, that's a shortage of RAM. If you just click this box, then it'll all go to RAM and be much more responsive. But no, it's Vegas. It's really vague about this shit. Our last method for rendering videos, the one before this one, was insanely fast than previous methods, using X264 video for Windows as a codec to render. I just got KZ over to this, and he's telling me it literally takes as long for him to do 1080p 60 frames per second videos as it took for him to do 720p 30. That's how much faster that is. But even still, if you look at the CPU utilization on your PC while rendering in that mode, it's still not 100%. There's still some headroom. There's some bottleneck, and I don't know what it is, and that annoyed the piss out of me. The new method, I know exactly what the bottleneck is, and it's that I don't own 2 NVIDIA GPUs. Actually, the 1080p Devil May Cry 3 footage only utilized 70% of the CPU. I think the GPU was tapped, but I didn't check. And yeah, no, that's pretty good. It's pretty good when you can turn out 4K 60 content in real fucking time at 61 megabits per second. I'm actually running the GTX 1080 Ti because the hype for ray tracing was off the fucking charts for some reason. And so I bought it used on eBay, and it was in very good condition, came in the original packaging. And it's a really good model. Very, very powerful, helps me color grade footage in real time in 4K 60, or thereabout real time, almost real time, if not completely real time. So 4K cats would be a lot easier, and I'm interested in doing 4K cats. The problem is that I'm just so fucking busy.
Yeah, Kyrie is wielding the Keyblade of Ava from back cover in her new hoodie, even kind of makes her look like her.
Leave it to me to take off my watch because it's fucking with my wrist because the ankle of this desk. And then I get a text and I have to pull out my phone and look at it. Oh, it's just an email to Big Thing. Okay. I should find a way to not get notifications from that email. Yes, completely right, Spaceman.
I noticed.
Please.
Her.
I noticed.
Please stop.
Ava from back cover in her new hoodie even kind of makes her look like her.
I noticed.
Please stop.
No, I
Please don't do
noticed.
this. There's the line. Stop.
No, I
Please don't do
noticed.
this. There's the line in Days that says that Shion is the mirror that reflects you. During that fight, she uses Sykes' moveset.
Yeah, I noticed she grabbed...
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
set.
Yeah, I noticed she grabbed... How
yeah,
in
she-
Kingdom Hearts
she
2, he
doesn't-
throws the things and you can grab them. He does that and she grabs it.
Yeah, and there's also sometimes she summons them herself.
He grabs it.
Yeah, and there's also sometimes she summons them herself, like she'll knock you in the air with the Keyblade and then summon it and spike you.
My goal with like Gigaboots has always been kind of like make content that is important to people and give us the means to do it at a level where the quality is acceptable.
Knock you in the air with the Keyblade, and then summon it and spike.
And it's really nice to get to see Easy Allies to get to live that dream again after game trailers went under. And it makes me think that there's hope.
With his sword.
That was really cool for a segment that lasted like 2 seconds.
Yeah, or
I
didn't even notice
because
if you're walking
a lot
in,
of time going into stuff you will maybe miss.
or notice
Once again,
if you're
a
walking
lot
in.
of-
I didn't even notice.
Yeah. Once again.
Notice
Once again,
if you're walking
a lot
in,
of time going into stuff you will maybe miss.
or if you walk in with an Ultima Keyblade, 0.5 seconds.
Oh my god. But that entire exchange of Xemnas and Axel was really good. Of just like, fuck you. He ran. I had to Google that term. Oh my god. But that entire exchange of Xemnas and Axel was really good. Of just like, fuck you. He called him an also ran. I had to Google that term.
So here's
It's
a here's a thing that I really didn't expect Kingdom Hearts 3 to do, but it did magnificently, was give all the organization personalities. Even Cyax, who was basically nothing before this game, I kind of liked.
They were building him up in the other games, and I was like, I hope they pick up on this. Like how he was friends with Axel a good bit, and apparently they were building him up in Days. And then they really capped it off really well.
And explains everything. He's just a weird, jealous asshole, and then he becomes friends with them in the ending.
Okay. Okay, so we're almost at 2 hours.
Okay, let me explain. This was supposed to be one podcast. And this is how long we took up until this point. And that's when that's when we have the conversation of, okay, this is unfucking reasonable for me to edit in one sitting, like as one file. We need to figure out something else to do. And then we eventually decide on 2 parts.
7.5 hours to edit.
Dan, I have an insane suggestion. No. And it doesn't even...
Yeah.
Dan, I have this amazing concept.
Uh-huh.
What if we finish this thing at a normal pace, and this is 2 podcasts, and you finally have that buffer?
Yeah.
I mean,
That'd be... Let's do that.
I do
Can
want
we
that
please
buffer.
finally have that buffer?
Yeah, having the buffer would help me sleep.
Yeah,
Plus-
let's help you
plus-
sleep. This
Here's
The buffer we're talking about is, we normally... I don't think it's going to be censoring anything on such a small stream, but I'll click that anyways. When we first started... excuse me, I had to stretch. When we first started the Gamer Premonitions podcast, we buffered 2 whole episodes before even announcing it or unleashing it or anything. And we lost those to me and KZ being sick. Tonight, assuming we get to record what we want to record, and over the next few days, as I edit what we record tonight, I should finally get that buffer back. Assuming we record what we're supposed to on Saturday, instead of me sleeping right the fuck through it like I did this last Saturday because I was running on fumes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's great. And you can even set a week and a half earlier.
I would feel bad releasing part 1 and then waiting 2 weeks to release part 2. Okay.
So,
And then we start
since
talking
we're-
about scheduling.
Let me go pee.
Yep.
1 moment.
Sure.
Funny how part 1, the first half still has us dipping into late game stuff, but at least it'll give us a buffer. And it's too much and so Dan will live.
Right, no, it's too much.
And I imagine if it's
I can't stop being entertained how I'm on Community Watch. It's too good. It's too good how it just comes off as like, we need to protect Dan from himself.
is going in very hard.
And it was in that's what the start of the Keyblade Graveyard were, so I get...
Okay.
Yeah, I read one of them, and I'm like, secret reports from what I've read. Yeah.
The good thing about the buffer before Tony Hawk,
Uh-huh.
since that's now posted.
Well, that's spoiled. Fucking thanks, me. Anyways. Yeah, no, they should be used to it by now, but...
I'm absolutely gonna get aggro involved with that. Be the least financially responsible.
All right.
This is an Easter egg in the pitch, my Tony Hawk pitch, but there's an official Tony Hawk book series.
Yeah,
When Tony Hawk harnessed the power to fight the man.
I respect that book more than Harry Potter. Yeah, that kind of helps. It's kind of like it's.
No, do we need to get back to this podcast, please?
Okay, so the day stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good
There you
segue.
go. He's gonna do it again, though.
The day stuff also, like I said, I talked about...
All of that was bullshit. And normally I'm better at marking this, but as you saw, I put a marker here. That's what the orange dotted line is. I can do that on our audio recorder. And since I just installed an app, I should be able to do it on my phone now, but I haven't figured that out. What I figured out in the last week, though, is I bought a little thing off of Amazon that allows me to switch from headphones to speaker by pushing a single button. And that's not all. I also figured out that I figured out a way to hear the sound of my voice going into the microphone, so that way I know that this is the maximum sound I can get. But I can also hear stuff on the computer. Obviously, that's how I'm able to hear the editing right now. So I found a way to get the audio recorder to spit out a signal that is both of those, which was not the easiest thing in the world, but I figured it out. And now a single button will switch me from this headphone jack to this speaker line, which goes to my sound system at my PC, which is great. So I don't technically have to remove any audio jacks all the time. And the next innovation I'm going to figure out for this is getting the mobile app to mark it with dotted lines. So normally what happens is I put a marker and then I put another marker when we're done talking. But I did it, and then I went to the bathroom, and then I came back, and I did it again, and then we started talking about other stuff. So none of this is actually a part of this. And so we throw it at the beginning, because it might be funny. Actually, you know what? Let's just hit Control-Z there, because if there were any volume curves, that would fuck with it. That is a super helpful feature. We used to have that back in the day, a long time ago, I believe, with Gigaboots on our shitty audio recorder. I don't remember if we ever used it for Gigaboots non-live action stuff. We take all this, we group it together. What is that? That's me making the thumbnail. Or it's like, okay, let's test how this thumbnail looks. Oh, man, I'm also going to have to make the thumbnail for part 2. And it was my goal to do what I wanted to do for part 1, which was go take my own photo with Sora doing his own thing, and then properly editing that out and putting it over whatever part of the Gamer Premonitions crew thing. Complicated. But here, one moment. Present timeline me is also going to go use the bathroom. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, the problem I have with it and why I was ultimately unhappy with the first thumbnail is that it has these lines. And it also has this, so you know it's the flan contest, so it's a lot of shit that doesn't need to be there. And in Photoshop, I edited out some of it, like this bracket on the right, and this stuff in the upper right. But ultimately was still unhappy with it, and I just told myself, I was like, hey, I'll get it down for episode 2 and try to do something like Sora doing the pinchy fingers on Mr. Feel or something. I'll figure it out. And I'm running so behind that I'm not sure that I'm going to do that. I'm not sure I'm going to do that at all.
The day stuff also, like I said, he becomes friends with them in the ending. The day
Who's clicking? Is that? I'm really excited that we got our Game Boy setup looking fucking pixel perfect. While I was over at that retro game store buying that stuff, I showed it to the people there, and their minds were fucking blown by how sharp it was. The owner of that store actually follows us on Twitter, so he saw that earlier.
about the crying thing, which I always clap for like a seal when characters express really strong emotions.
When people are genuine
So
and
I was
human. Yeah. It's nice.
Instead of clapping like a seal, I just did what they did instead.
I got about the crying thing, which I always
clap for like a seal when characters express really strong emotions.
When people are genuine
So
and
I was
human. Yeah.
Yes.
It's nice.
Instead of clapping like a seal, I just did what they did instead.
Human? Yeah. It's nice.
Instead of clapping like a seal, I just did what they did instead.
I got close a couple times. It didn't actually get me, but I got real close.
One of the problems of doing a Let's Play was, for the very first time, I had to say, guys, we're gonna take a quick break. So
Actually,
I'm gonna have to cut an episode and transition out of a cry phase.
I may actually need to do a blind Let's Play of Bloodstained, because that's the only thing I could ever have that experience for. And obviously Bloodstained is a completely original universe, so that kind of ruins all the sentimentality of it to some extent. But yeah, I'm buying a lot of copies of that game. That game's feeling so good.
An episode and transition out of a cry phase.
I feel like it may end up in the same space as the new Doom, where every journalist ahead of time was just shitting on it. And then it came out and got Game of the Year from a couple places.
The Birth by Sleep one got me worse. Because just the Terra before he took over the Guardian complete.
I couldn't agree with Feel more. I feel like the Birth by moment in the ending is one of the strongest moments in the game.
Worse. Because just the Terra before he took over the Guardian completely, saying that he'll set things right, and it's slowly changing to his actual voice. Voice was fucking incredible.
Yeah, no, that was strong.
It was really good. I probably would have survived the days section if Shion didn't start crying.
Something got so this is a fun problem that happens occasionally. See how when I click this, it's all that, but when I click this, it's this stuff over here. So I occasionally do that on accident. So I gotta keep an eye out for that. All I do is I ungroup that. That was accidental. I hate every time I do that. I hate the magnifying glass. I feel like that should be its own thing. So these aren't grouped. So do that, bring it in like that. Play it. Make sure it's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Do a cut and re-highlight all of it. So I told KZ this plan. He fucking loved it. I'm not sure I told Feel, and I don't even fucking know if Feel's still here, obviously, but I figured I would tell you guys because it's funny. If Feel ever comes to visit us in person, the only person he should take a selfie with for us to put online is Xeon. So that way people go, holy shit, if Feel's a manlet, then Xeon must be tiny because Feel is taller than Xeon. And I love that none of that is near reality. None of that is remotely fucking accurate. But the thought of just all these weird connected dots and partial truths and partial. He's 5'11", which is why the meme is hilarious. All these partial truths would make you think, man, shit, Xeon must be 5'4".
Yep.
Oh god.
So Kyrie got kidnapped with.
And now we continue. Just click. Yep. It's all one. We all good. Oops. I'm 6 foot, which is why it infuriates me anytime someone who's less than 6 feet tall says they're 6 feet tall. That is such a fucking common thing to deal with.
So Kyrie got kidnapped with grabbed by the upper arm disease.
God. No, I have no problem being shorter than people at all. Vox is also taller than me. But it kills me when people who are definitely 5'10" stare me straight in the eye and go, you can't be 6 foot because I'm 6 foot.
God. Tragic.
Big fan of Xemnas going, who gives a shit? You have backups. You have back.
Yeah, this is the last audio recording we did before switching out the pop filters. Got a fucking channel of giants. This is awesome.
So do we. Yeah, Axel just removed and replaced with Roxas.
Yeah, Spaceman, aren't you like 6'1", 6'2"? It's really great if we ever threw a convention. Like most executive producers / patrons would be taller than me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, I'm doing great. Do you want to experience how I normally edit these podcasts? Because check this out. This is how it normally goes. There we go.
Roxas.
Roxas having the most Chad speech, just owning Xemnas. Xemnas.
I'm really sad that Roxas didn't just like body Xemnas and make him run off crying.
Also,
God, if we started doing the voice thing that what was the name of the channel? Extra Credits does, I know that would drive Bob insane, and that's fair.
also, did you I know Dan.
Oh yeah, this is real fun. That Devil May Cry 3 Let's Play I recorded the rest of yesterday, that was boring.
So I know Dan. So I know Dan didn't. If you let Roxas and Shion.
This is the real shit right here. You know what, guys? We're gonna turn on that feature again, where it properly brings stuff in when I delete it. Let's see. Okay, here we go. We're clicking it. Let's see how long we can go without Vegas
Roxas
crashing.
and Shion just go. Roxas rips Sykes apart. He did more damage
Okay.
than me.
Wow.
I'll need to go back and see that because it's just like
He's launching him. He's stun locking the fuck out of Sykes with dual wielding.
he's fucking Black Knight Tarkus over here.
I actually, even
And
though
it was another
Oh,
one
hey.
of the moments with that soundtrack
Didn't
that is
take long
incredible
at all.
because it's a dual mix of Roxas's boss theme and Shion's boss theme.
Yep.
God, that's so fucking Kino.
Mm-hmm.
It's just yet another reason.
That's why I can't use that feature, because I would have to stop playing it in order to use it. It's a great feature, though, as long as you're not playing your audio at the same time that you make a delete.
Make him run off crying.
Also, I know Dan
didn't. If you let Roxas and
There we go.
Make him run off crying.
also, I know Dan didn't. If you let Roxas and Shion just go, Roxas rips Sykes apart. He did more damage than me.
It's a great feature as long as it isn't used how it was.
Wow. I'll need to go
better.
back and see that because it's just like
Like seriously, I would have to, and I'm gonna save again. I'd have to. Did it forget where the original file was, or did it? Okay, I clicked the wrong floppy.
He's launching him. He's stun locking the fuck out of Sykes with dual wielding.
he's fucking Black Knight Tarkus over here.
I actually, even
And
though
it was another one of the moments with that soundtrack that is incredible because it's a dual mix of.
What? God, that's so fucking Kino.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like, it's really hard to get a feel.
It's just yet another reason I had the shakes the last 6 hours of this game.
Oh my god. That's rough. Clip that, please. Somebody put a timestamp up. I guess it's around 146. But yeah, I'll see you in a bit, KZ, for our thing. 146. Okay. Oh my god, that's so fucking Kino, and Chipmunk Speak is my new god. Okay, is that what you wanted the clip of, not the Vegas crash?
God, that's so fucking Kino.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another problem with using this. I just deleted one layer, and then it crushed the rest of it in. For no reason. No real reason. Yeah, I see enough Vegas crashes at work, yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, if you use it, you definitely see more than you ever need to.
It's just yet another reason I had the shakes the last 6 hours of this game.
Yes.
even though I melted through those enemies,
This game.
Yes.
even though I melted through those enemies, even in that tiny amount of time, I was like, damn, he's really competent. He's like juggling this fool and really helping me own the shit out of
Those
it.
moments when you do combos and they also do it at the same time and you're accidentally doing like team attacks.
Uh-huh.
I started marking the fuck out when I did it with Riku once.
So I'm gonna say this, I'm really impressed how much improved party member AI is from every other Kingdom Hearts game. They're competent. You don't have to babysit. Even Donald and Goofy did not spend most of this game dead.
I am now just thinking about how much we need to get that new 3DS modded so that way it can do HDMI out. Because I really want to play Castlevania on a TV.
Dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, it helps to have it in a standard recordable format so we can use our current workflows and stability won't be an issue. That's how it's supposed to go, though. But we'll see how.
Yeah.
Yep.
Donald
They're
healed me.
pretty reliable. And they
It
do
has
have like
pretty
AI
Donald
adjustment
healed you?
stuff, too.
Are you
Donald
sure?
healed me. Was not a single time in this game I went Donald heal me and he didn't. Every time I thought that I heard that Thora, and then my health went up.
Can we talk about how Man,
That ingredients line is so bad.
it is? It is just awful.
We need to find some ingredients.
And then just we need Dan to step in and replace the guy. Let him stop.
It was really good because I could use rage form in this game so much with no fear because Donald will heal me back and I can just hit triangle like a
know.
monkey.
That I was staggered that was the case
Risk
because I
charge
also
is
did
my
that
most
too.
used situation command.
Let's talk about.
I also did that too.
Risk charge.
Charge is my most.
I also did that too.
Risk charge is my most used. Situation command.
Let's talk
Whoa.
about rage form in a little
Yeah,
bit. Good time to talk about it. Let's talk about rage form in a little bit though, because there's a
Yep.
real good time
Mhm.
to talk about it.
What?
Let's talk.
Yeah, chroma keying in Vegas is fucking awful. We did our Sonic Month intro chroma key in Resolve. That was an experience. Actually, did we do that? No, we did the Christmas special chroma key for the what the fuck was the name of the band? Whatever. The Headstrong joke. We did the Headstrong joke in Resolve. I figured out how to do that in Resolve instead of Vegas because fuck Vegas.
Oh,
Let's talk about
oh,
talk about Rage Form in a little bit.
When I should be using Vegas
Though.
or After Effects.
Though, because there's a
Yep.
real good time to talk about it.
oh, yes, there is.
Yeah,
So
there
the
is.
threes. So is there anything else we need to say about Days?
No.
No, that was about it. It was really well executed. I liked having all those characters in your party, which we haven't really mentioned too much. Just having them there is great, which means you had Kyrie in your party for 20 seconds. Your party for 20 seconds.
The fact that
I appreciate every time Field does a start to something and then realizes it's been long enough that he should do another. It makes my life easier because doing what I just did is infinitely easier than ungrouping stuff and sliding it along.
the fact that the PS4 does not have the technical limitations of the PS2, so Nomura could just go, you have every party member that you would logically have at every time. You don't have to switch anybody out. You don't have to switch anybody out for the entire game.
Yeah.
You don't even notice. Like, the first fight, I forgot that, oh, my different here.
Game.
Yeah.
You don't even notice. Like, the first fight, I forgot that, oh, my party's different here.
It's not really designed for it at all. If I remember correctly, they eventually added an open, what do they call those? OFX? There's like open format special effects plugins. Anyways, if I remember, eventually they added one of those. That works. I actually have the studio version of Resolve now because I bought the Pocket 4K. But yeah, that's actually one of the
fact
best
that Goofy
things.
and Donald stay behind, so
Oh, hey,
it's
Bob's back. Hey, Bob, how's it going? I am streaming, editing the podcast because people asked for it enough times where I was like, okay, I'll stream that. I did it on the Gigaboots Patreon instead of the Gigaboots podcast Patreon because the Gigaboots Patreon is more about behind the scenes and, you know, that sort of thing, whereas the podcast one is more about extra content. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Danny Richardson says, hi, Bob. Hey, Bob. And then Spaceman says, hi, Bob. Hey, Danny Richardson says, thank you for suggesting Grandia.
No problem.
I don't know how much you can hear him.
Yeah, can you hear me at all?
Yeah, they can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed Grandia. It's been so many years since I played it, but, you know.
And I've never played it.
I'm excited for that new release they're going to do, so that'll be fun.
Bob, that's not a new release. That's us hacking our PS1.
I mean, there's that too, but there's also an HD release on the PS4 coming sometime.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's still
Sometime.
happening?
That-
Just like that Kingdom Hearts VR game that disappeared off the face of the planet?
Yes.
Can anyone confirm that thing exists? Bob tried to find it last night. We don't think that it's real.
I don't think they released it, no.
I think it's just gone. Didn't work out. Feel says, I'm really glad you discussed Grandia, so now I know how to pronounce it.
Yes.
Apparently Danny Richardson says the camera is really rad in Grandia.
It's pronounced Gordita.
Grandia. Dios Grandia. Grandia. What? Gordita. You know what? I think me chowing down on some Taco Bell in the middle of the cursed commentary track would be pretty on brand for that series. Oh, so he pronounced the gra as a short A, you know, that short O sound. Gran. instead of Grandia. I don't think anyone would have a problem with that. Not like they needed the VR the way Kingdom Hearts 3 is selling. It's not about them, it's about me. I have this VR headset. Part of the reason I got it was so we could do the Kingdom Hearts VR shit, because I knew KZ wouldn't. Because that's fucking reasonable. We still haven't done a single VR stream. Hey, Bob, did you eat? No. Hey, Bob, I ate a sub from Howie's like 4 hours ago. I know, I'm hungry again. What the fuck? I'm upset. Things are a lie. Yeah, like they put jack shit for mushrooms on it, even though technically they replaced both my. Well, okay, so I get the turkey club, right? And I replaced both the ham and the bacon with it.
So it should be double mushrooms.
It should be double mushrooms. It wasn't even, in my opinion, single mushrooms, and I was upset.
Yeah. Whataburger's open. That's about it, though.
I'm Taco Bell a billion times over.
Okay.
Just try to order something that has
very few options.
How much extra is it for me to just come back there and make it myself, you guys? Spaceman says, now at the stream, the Groundhog's Day game. I thought it was fucking hilarious that KZ he like wasn't sure what I was talking about because I put an apostrophe S at the end of that. Like, we do Valentine's Day.
Right.
Groundhog Day is, as far as I know, the only holiday that doesn't have an apostrophe S at the beginning of the noun.
Well, I think that he was thinking the holiday because he used the apostrophe word. The movie doesn't have it.
I think the holiday is also Groundhog Day.
I think it's Groundhog's Day.
Okay, now I'm looking it up. Groundhog Day. Yeah, see? No apostrophe S.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's stupid.
Weird.
It's stupid as hell. I do not appreciate them doing that. That's as annoying as Valentine's. Valentine's. Or Valentine's. Times. You know, the Teen Girl Squad mispronunciation that actually is a problem with people.
Oh, the Valentine's.
Valentine's instead of Valentine's.
Yeah, no, I probably say that all the time.
What time is it? It's Valentine's. What time is it? It's Valentine's. What you gonna get? All the boys. How we gonna get them? Is it voodoo? Voodoo! I see Sophia's got it.
See, nothing even came off as weird to me about that
whole episode, even though there was a part where one of them was like, Valentine's. And then she goes, what? And she goes, Tines! And then she goes, what? And then she goes, Tines! And then it cuts to that race card. It's like, Tines, 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 Tines!
Seems pretty normal.
Yeah, this is perfectly normal. I have a crush on everybody. Harold! Okay, I'm done. We gotta go solve food stuff and then record more content that won't get edited until later. Thank you all for joining me for these 2 hours. We got some work done. You know, that's not too bad.
There's still so much.
See, Bob,
Are we recording something tonight, or?
Oh, did you not?
I didn't know.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, I know.
You should have always known.
Well, I knew.
Remember what happened on Saturday?
I knew he had.
Remember what happened on Saturday?
Yes.
Well, now that's happening today.
Oh
no. Okay, guys. See you later. Take it easy. Thank you all for stopping by, because really, I thought I was going to hit stream and then no one was going to say anything. And then I'll just like turn towards the chat, one message an hour, and be like, that's pretty funny. And then go back to what I'm doing. Because I can't listen to music while doing this. I can't, because I need to be able to hear all these things. Anyways, talk to you later. Bye. Thanks. Like and subscribe. Wait, how did you say it, Bob? You can go do that.
You probably have.
You probably already have. In this case, that's accurate.